Cold outside, huh? Kind of like my wife's lasagna. Third time today. Gotta laugh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Common Folk Artist Collective Telethon. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you're watching us on North Adams Cable Access, channel 1301, or on YouTube at Common Folk, that's the URL, or here in person, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. As you can imagine, this was a huge undertaking, and so many other people are involved in making this happen, and we're going to hear from them and about them later, but for now, why are we doing this? Well, Common Folk is a local artist collective made up of a myriad of artists across various artistic disciplines, far and wide. And we've existed for 10 years. And we've had a very interesting 10 years. And so what better way to celebrate those 10 years than by going on TV and telling you all about it. So recently, we just launched a bunch of new community support options, and you can find that on our website. That is commonfolk.org/support us. So without having the large commitment of being a Common Folk member, working in the store, doing whatever else, you are able to donate a smaller amount per month in order to help us out and in turn get some benefits of membership. Right now, we are going to watch a video of what makes Common Folk so special.
Common Folk is made up of 40 individual artists, primarily from North Adams, Massachusetts. The collective really centers around providing resources and a space and a community for local and emerging artists to thrive in their creative practice.
Common Folk is a kind of a web of artists who represent a lot of different art forms.
We do workshops, music events, community events, art galleries, all sorts of things. It's a great resource for artists.
It's a resource that's kind of a way to access a lot of information that I wouldn't otherwise be able to connect with, and also just a source of inspiration.
Common Folk has been the first hands-on experience I've had with an artist community. Being able to cross resources and just pick each other's brains and come up with creative solutions to things is really valuable. There's always motivation from members and the collective itself to keep creating things.
It's where I feel supported as an artist. It's a place where I definitely have grown so much and would not have grown as much as an artist without it.
I hope it continues to thrive. I think that Common Folk can just get stronger and more diverse and, keep going.
As the community, shapes and forms and we mold into that, I'm really excited to see how that builds and we can get more people. And while we do have, I think, a good amount of members for a small city artist collective, I think we could have more.
Those are just some of the members that you are going to hear and see tonight during our broadcast. We have the very fortunate pleasure of knowing so many wonderful people in the creative community, a lot of whom we are going to hear from tonight in various ways. But first, we would like to ask you, if you are thinking about supporting Common Folk in any sort of way, now is the time. Whether it is signing up for one of those community support memberships or just donating some of your money to us. It's always so awkward to ask people for money, but here we are. If you're thinking about supporting Common Folk in any sort of way, now is the time. We do have a fundraising goal that we would like to reach tonight of $1,000, whether that be in community support memberships or in general donations. So thank you so much in advance. And we're going to keep track of those donations on this neat little thermometer over here. We already have some money coming in thanks to my grandmother. Yeah. She's not here in person, but she Venmo'd me before the show. So thank you, Glow. And with that, I want to introduce our first guest. I'm going to come on over here to this camera. Hey, how we doing? So great. This is live TV. I don't know. I want to introduce a Common Folk member, friend, wonderful person, Bree Morrison. Bree, you're going to do some comedy for us. Is that right? My best. Certainly going to give it a Great. Well, I'm gonna just leave you to it then. All right. Bree Morrison, everybody.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's the thrills of live television. We never know what's going to happen. As Sierra said, my name is Bree Morrison. I was born and raised here in Berkshire County. It's good to be back. I haven't been here. I've been living in Albany last couple of months. I had to move out to Albany because for the last year and a half I was living at home, which, you know, as a millennial you just want to do, or not want to do, but have to do at some point. I think the thing about it, like, obviously it was amazing. I got to take time off of work. I didn't have to work as much, you know, didn't have to pay money for rent. It was fantastic. But, you know, it does come at a cost. You know, living with my dad and my brother, I have to say, like, gave me a newfound empathy, but not in the way that you would expect, right? Like, I'm not gonna say she was right, but I'm definitely gonna say, like, I get where Lizzie Borden was coming from, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know, and I'm into all that type of stuff, like the paranormal and the weird kind of like murder documentaries and stuff. So when I moved to Albany, I went on like a haunted tour of Albany, which is really cool. You get to see, they take you around the Capitol and they tell you all these stories about all these like old timey ghosts that, you know, haunt the streets, which is really cool. And turns out, actually, I had my own modern day paranormal experience, with being ghosted by the last dude that I hooked up with. I'm glad somebody thinks it's funny. But yeah, no, I don't do well when ghosted. I have what's called an anxious attachment style, which means that if I don't hear from you, basically my mind goes to one of two worst case scenarios, right? So I either think that you're ditching me or you're dead in a ditch, right? And like, quite honestly, I don't know which one is worse. So. But yeah, back when I was younger, I used to have really poor boundary control, and I used to be what I liked to call a ghost buster. Basically, it's like when you don't let someone ghost you, right? Like, I would just send dudes texts constantly over and over and over again till they either responded with a text message or a cease and desist. But yeah, I mean, you know, dating is hard, and honestly, yes, I'm tired of getting ignored by dudes, and I just can't help but feel like maybe if I were a Pokemon, like he might notice me more. And, you know, in that attempt to try to get that, I was actually thinking about Pokemon and kind of just like my development, and that my development is much like the different stages, right? So in my teens, right, I have to say I would be like Ditto, right? Absolutely no sense of self, right? Just changing into whoever was right in front of me, trying to mirror that person, be like, oh, am I perfect? Am I just like you? Right? And then I moved into my 20s where I feel like I was kind of like Grimer or Muck, you know, just like super toxic, really sloppy, just making like a mess everywhere, just like sucking people into it, smothering them with my affection. And now I feel like as I've evolved, as Pokemon want to do, in my 30s, I kind of feel like Eevee, right? You know, like I'm just down to the basics, but I'm full of potential. You know, I've got different opportunities. Which way is she gonna go? We don't know, folks. But yeah, but don't feel too bad for me. Like, you know, ghosting happens. I'm actually recently paired, which is exciting. My Bluetooth speaker kept telling me it was ready to connect, and I figured, you know, I might as well give it a try. You know, it worked in that movie Her, so you never know what's gonna happen. But no, just kidding. I'm single, and I think I'm much like my check engine light in my car, where I've been turned on for a really long time, but like I don't really have any motivation to do anything about it. Just kind of like hoping it'll resolve itself. But yeah, as I said, I moved to Albany. I got a gig as a substitute teacher, which has been really fun. I work in an elementary school, and obviously I think no one would have any disagreement when I say I think maybe we should be funding schools the way that we fund the military, and with the bulk of that money going straight to kindergarten teachers. That's the real front lines, folks. Kindergarten oh man, like evolutionarily, like they have to be cute because they're so feral. It's chaos, okay? Like I get these students once a week for 40 minutes, and I can't help but there's just like crying, there's screaming, there's stuff everywhere. And I don't understand how these kindergarten teachers do it. Like really, I think they should be considered veterans. Like if you see a kindergarten teacher, please thank them for their service. It's wild, especially with the kindergartners. I feel like most of my job is basically trying to keep them engaged in whatever task and distracted long enough that they don't realize that there's way more of them than there are of me, and at any point they could totally just like revolt and take over the classroom. Which is wild because it's like now I think I finally understand how the 1% feels. And like, thank you. Sorry, I'm trying really hard to slow down because we're live, which means that we're on TV, I can't swear. And for those of you who know me, those are very much, it's like a very staple of my vocabulary because I would really hate to drop a swear word and then render this whole thing counterproductive. We're trying to add money, not take money away. Back to the 1%, like understanding how they feel. Like it is exhausting keeping people that distracted. So it's like I never thought I would say this, but like maybe they do work for their fortunes. It's wild because wealth and privilege really insulate you from being able to experience the consequences of your actions. And I have a story for you. So my friend, she dog sits for a very wealthy man from time to time. And so she goes to, the house, lets the dog out and all that. Now, the dog is not content with its like giant acres of space that it has to run around. So constantly trying to gets out a lot of the time, and comes back with porcupines all over the face. Like every time it gets out straight to the porcupine. Has happened multiple times. And you know that this is the only way that this could happen to like a rich dog, right? Like we brought her it happened one time when I was with her, and we brought her to the vet, and the vet was like, wow, I can't believe this happens again. You don't really get a lot of repeat offenders here in the porcupine business. And so we get it in, it's like an emergency or whatever. It's like 20 grand. Right, to get all these like spikes and things out of this dog, which is just like 100%, like as if that were my dog with my broke self, 100%, you'd be dead. There wouldn't be a second time for you to get the porcupine because I'd have to put you down because I can't afford $20,000 to take porcupines out of your face. So that's it. But thank you all so much. This has been fantastic. I'm going to end on that real high note. As you can tell, just like a little bit of the nerves. It's been a minute. It's hard, I think, being a part of a collective. Maybe not for everybody, most especially for me, because I have a big ego. Obviously, you can tell because I'm here with a microphone in my hand. Like, I think I'm that important that I have to have a microphone. My voice has to be amplified, right? So, but even with all that being said, like, nobody can do it alone. And if it weren't for common folk, I don't think that I would be anywhere close to where I am in taking myself seriously as an artist. And I just think that more people deserve to have that opportunity to find a community like that can really support them and encourage them. And the great thing about common folk, right, is that we're not like aiming for a profit, right? Like, yeah, it's cool to make money, but we're not trying to like exploit people out of the surplus value of their labor so that like we can make all this money. But realistically, like, we have to have money to do the things that we want to do. If we don't want to be focused on making a profit, we need to be able to at least cover expenses so that people can continue what they want to do and express themselves. And so I just hope that anybody watching maybe sends this to an extra friend or two, because Common Folk is truly so near and dear to my heart. And I really hope that more people can continue to join the collective and we can get more artists. So thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed my brief little segment, and we're gonna pass on back to Sierra.
Thank you, Bree. That was great. No one likes to be ghosted. that was my thesis from Bree's comedy act. Happy to say that because of that act, we are now up to $225 for our donations tonight. That's great. I'm just gonna come around. I was given instructions on how to do this. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Nope. Well, you know, it's live TV, folks. It isn't perfect. Also just wanted to take this moment to say that everyone who donates tonight will be automatically entered into a raffle, and we will draw the winner at the end of tonight's broadcast. And the winner is going to get a free tasting and tap room tour of Berkshire Cider, which is a local cidery in town owned by two fantastic people, Matt Brogan and Kat Hand. Go visit their tap room in Greylock Works. It just reopened after being closed for a couple of weeks. So the winner of tonight's raffle will get a free tasting tap room tour, and they will also get a special cider package to take home with them. And every year they do a Berkshire Community Cider, which is when they ask folks from the community to donate their apples, because everyone has an apple tree in Berkshire County. And they ask folks to donate all of their apples, and they make it into a community pressed cider, which is just the cutest thing that I've ever heard about or seen on TV. Now you're seeing it on TV. Or YouTube or in person, wherever you are. Thank you for being here. And if you're just joining us, we're calling it a telethon, but it's not. It's just, it's more of a variety show. I'm in a different outfit. And we're gonna raise some money. We're gonna raise some money for Common Folk Artists Collective, which, as we just heard from Bree, is all very near and dear to our hearts. So thank you for donating. Thank you for being here. And speaking of which, we are actually going to hear from our founder, Jessica Sweeney. Jess, can you come up?
Hey, buddy. Hi. This is a great outfit.
Yeah, thanks.
I feel really underdressed.
Well, it's okay. I'm just the host, so that makes sense. So, Sweens, I'm gonna interview you right now. Okay. Cool.
I don't think I've ever been on live TV.
Really? Yeah. Well, it's fine. Just look there and say hi to your mom. Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. Say it again.
Hi, Mom.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. So I just want to ask you some questions about how Common Folk came to be over the last 10 years, and where you think it's headed, where it's been, and can you tell me a little bit about how it first started?
So, Common Folk didn't start in North Adams at all, ironically enough.
Oh.
Yeah. We actually started in Northampton, Massachusetts as an open mic. And it was like an all-inclusive open mic. So we had a visual artist featured at every one. We had comedians, musicians, storytellers, poets, like anything you want. It was kind of like this, actually.
Like this?
Yeah. Except we weren't raising money, although that would have been nice. But yeah, we like a few of us were just talking a lot about like how artists, or at least the artists that we knew and that we were friends with, just like really wanted community, and it didn't feel like there was that. So we started this open mic. Then half of us moved to North Adams, where there was already an open mic. So we were like, we're not going to do that. And very, very slowly over time, we just started doing projects together. And this was back in like 2011. So technically, we're a little older than that. But we officially formalized as Common Folk in 13, we did our first huge concert at the Elks with Moon Hooch, who is like, they're now like a huge band.
Yeah, they're great.
They're amazing. And we kind of had this moment of like, oh, we can do really cool stuff. So we kept doing more cool stuff. And now we own our space thanks to a huge campaign we did about a year ago. So we're not going anywhere, which is very exciting. And as for the future, I think that's really up to the members. I think the beauty of Common Folk is that what we do changes all the time, because it's dependent on who our members are and what they're interested in and what the circumstances of the world are. And so we don't we have some regular things that continue to happen, but really the magic just evolves. So I don't know where we're going. That depends on all of us.
And there's definitely some magic in this room tonight. Thank you so much, Sweens, for speaking about just the community passion that that Common Folk really represents. Thank you. And you're just right over there. You're not far. You're giving me, Sweens is giving me money updates tonight. So don't forget to donate. You can donate on our website, commonfolk.org/support-us.
Or at Venmo at We Are Common Folk.
Or Venmo at We Are Common Folk. Thank you so much, Sweens.
Thanks.
Love you, bud. All right, once again, if you donate tonight, you are automatically entered into a raffle. Yeah, yes. There are people here, and sometimes I look to them for encouragement. So, talking to you. Yes, so thank you for being here. Up next, I'm going to invite my good friend Molly up on stage. Molly, you want to come up here?
Sure do.
Is Molly's mic on? Do I need this anymore?
Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
Hey.
Yes, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Well, they'll tell us if it's not. Molly, you are a dancer.
I am a dancer. That is true. Dance aerobics is not my specialty per se.
Wow, you just gave it away.
Sorry.
Molly
I thought
just
it was
gave it away.
obvious.
That's okay.
Already.
Oh, obvious, considering our getup. But Molly, I want to hear about some of the stuff that you do as a dancer in the community, and what you do up in Maine. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're involved in Common Folk and what your creative life is like?
Yeah, I joined Common Folk as a member pretty much as soon as I moved to North Adams. Want me to take this?
Yeah.
About 2.5 years ago. And I joined because I wanted to meet other artists in the area, and it was the perfect way to do that. Since I've been here, I produced an event that Common Folk was part of called the Rail Trail Roll Along, where we did site-specific performances along the Ashwildecook Rail Trail.
Say that again.
The DCR,
Yeah.
Ashwildecook Rail Trail. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
No, you pronounced it correct.
Great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So we did that. That was great. I teach dance at the Studio North Dance Arts in the NORAD Mill studio, and I hope to teach more places. So if you're interested in taking dance, especially if you have a space and you want to dance in it, just let me know, and I'll bring the dance to you. I'm doing other performances around. I've done an installation at Plant Connector, working on a dance film project in Housatonic, Southern Berkshires right now. So yeah, things are happening, and we'll keep dancing. And now it's going to be a chance for anybody who wants to, including our live studio audience, if you'd like to stand up.
What a segue.
I'm just working into it. I think it's time. So if you'd like to stand up, you're welcome to get up, stretch your legs, warm up. It's a very cold day, as we all know. So it's time to get your body moving and grooving with some creative dance aerobics.
Yes.
Again, as I mentioned, I am not a dance aerobics specialist. However, I am a dance teacher, so I know a little bit
And
about
she's
what
going to
I'm doing.
become one after tonight.
Yeah, if you like what you see, let me know. I'll start a YouTube channel.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, folks.
Yeah.
We
Thanks.
had to throw it in there. Got it.
Tell me what songs you'd like to hear.
Ring the bell.
Yeah. Anyway, should we get going?
Yeah, can we invite up our studio dancers, please? For our dance aerobics.
Come on up, everybody. Yeah. All right. So in this, is this mic on? Am I good? Yes? Okay. So in this, you're going to see, we're going to do some moves that are a little bit inspired by common folk embracing other artistic forms besides dance. I'm also going to let you know that I use a little bit of a framework of something that's called brain dance, which is a sequence of developmental movement patterns that are supposed to help you get more coordinated and help you learn and absorb information and just be alert. So it's going to be great for you all around, whether you're looking for physical or mental fitness. All right, we're ready to go. Good? Can we get a little louder? Yeah. All right. We're going to start it off just nice and easy. Just a little head roll to the right. Just one. All right, other way to the left. Few shoulder rolls. Here we go. Shoulders. And 2. And 3. One more back to front. Here we go. Yeah. You're looking great. Your shoulders are gonna look hot. Let's bring our arms up. Good. Take a little breath and bend. And up. And bend. And up. One more. Good. Let's bring those hands to your hips. We're gonna go around the world. Nice. Other way. Reverse it. Good. That's right, we're around. Here we go, we're gonna keep these circles going, but we're gonna bring it in nice and tight. We're gonna pick up the speed, and we'll go. Here we go, open, and open, reverse, and open, and reverse. We go, open, and reverse. One more, and reverse. Good, just move to a step touch. Keep that heart rate going. If you're ever not sure what we're doing, you can always go back to the step touch. That's our rule, folks. All right. Now we're going to go. We're going to live our rock and roll dreams here. Are you ready for this? We're going to guitar and drums and guitar and drums. This might be a sneak preview of later. Guitar and drums and guitar. One more each side. Guitar and drums. Last one, so put everything into it. Yeah, good job. Let's go back to our step touch. All right. Now we're going to do one that I like to call the cut and paste. Inspired by collage. You know those things, we love them. Use your old magazines for them. Here we go. Cut and paste. Cut and paste. Cut and paste. Cut and paste. One more. Slide, one more. Here we go. Ready? We're gonna try to switch sides. Here we go. Cut and paste. Gotta keep it even. Can't only do one side, folks. One more. Last one. Good, go back to our step touch. All right, we're gonna add an extra step in here. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, cut. Good. Good, let's add some arms. Add a little swirl. Yes. Good. Now, we're gonna do the knitter, all right? We're gonna spin some yarn, and then we're gonna knit. So we go 1, 2, 3, knit, knit, and spin that yarn, knit, knit, spin that yarn, knit, knit, good. Spin that yarn, knit, knit, good. Let's take it back. We're gonna take it down just a little bit. We're gonna take a nice little step. Make it good and wide, however feels comfortable, stable to you. Are we warm now? Good, let's cool it down then. Let's take a nice breath up. Just let it out. All right, we're gonna finish off with some nice painting. All right, so we have to mix up our paint first. Here we go, stir it up. Good. Yeah, think about those colors. What are you mixing? Yellow and blue? Red and blue? Primary colors, folks. What do they make? Other way, spin it around. Good.
This is Bob Ross, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go, the painting's gonna begin. Let's do dip, Dip and big brushstroke. Yes. Dip, dip, big brushstroke. Nice. And over, nice and big. Yeah. And over. Good. One more each way. And over. Good. I think we need to make some of those happy little trees, so we're just going to add some dots. Just take your own speckle. This is your own time. Express yourself, folks. Yeah, good. Let's take that pink brush up and let's wave it down. Good. Feel that nice stretch. Here we go, going down. You can paint the floor. Yeah, let that head drop. Relax, folks. Yes, here we go. Coming back up. Nice. Good. Let's just take one more stretch out. Let's just do one more little bonus move here. Let's pick up your phone and call in. Good. And donate your money. Give us your money. There you go. Thanks, folks. Good. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. All right. Yeah, you can do that anytime. Dance at home. Yeah, you can find this on YouTube now. Right?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, everybody.
Molly Hess, everybody. Jeez. When I was planning this telethon, the one thing that I wanted to do always was play music, which will happen later, but also dance aerobics. So thank you for Molly for making my dreams come true. We've got some donators that I just want to give a shout out. As you remember, my grandmother, Glo Rosenthal, donated before this broadcast. She Venmo'd me before the show. And there's a voicemail on my phone and 2 missed calls. So she must have forgot that I'm doing this. Anyway, but I do want to shout out some donators that didn't forget that this was happening. So Carolyn Albert, thank you for your donation. Thank you. And Angie Gonzalez, thank you. Thank you. So I think we are going to take a quick intermission, a quick 5. Give some folks some chance to drink some water. I got to cool down after that workout. Thanks, Molly. I'm doing a lot of this. A lot of finger guns. I think I do that when I'm nervous. Why not be honest about it, right? I'm here and looking like this. You're all here and here. So thank you for joining me on this wild ride. I think anyone who asked me what this was going to be like, I literally said, a wild ride. So thanks for hopping on the train and not getting off until I say so. With that, we're going to take a quick intermission. So feel free to stretch your legs if you didn't stretch them enough earlier. And we'll see you back here in a few. breaking news. We just hit $500 in our telecast. Special thank you to my mother, Kim. If you've met Kim, you know that she's the best. So special thank you to her. Welcome to Primetime News. I'm going to get to that later, Sweens. Thank you. Welcome to Primetime News. As you know, there's a lot going on in the common folk sphere and just in the community at large. And I'm here to tell you about it. Also fulfilling a lifelong dream of being a news anchor. Some collective news. In case you didn't hear, Common Folk bought its storefront through a large crowdfunding campaign. Thank you. Paired with a $20,000 matched grant from the state, we were able to buy our space last year. So come on. Come hang out with us over at 12 Holden Street. We're open when we're open. More recently, Sierra, that's me, released a new EP called Long Time Listener. Available on the internet. So once you're done watching our live broadcast, stay on YouTube and go over to Sierra's channel. Or don't, whatever. Alicia Canary received a grant from the Massachusetts Cultural Council to run a workshop on how to make paper from invasive plants. That's pretty cool. Wow. I gotta find out when that is. Misa Chappelle curated an exhibition with Arts in Recovery for Youth, a suicide prevention arts program. The show is about bodily autonomy and social change. It opens today at the Whitney Center for the Arts in Pittsfield and will go through March 3rd. Artists will speak about their work on February 22nd from 12 to 1 p.m. There's a lot of art from common folk to check out. We've got a lot of exhibitions in various places, including our exhibition space at 12 Holden Street called The Nook. We have new work from members this month. Members also have art exhibited at Christo's Famous Pizza, right next door. Catherine Haig has an upcoming show, The Moon Man, at Clear Sky Cannabis, opening later this week. And we'd love to see you at some of our regular common folk events. Adam's monthly artist meetup on the second Sunday of the month from 3 to 5 p.m. The herbalist meetups happen on the second Tuesday of every month from 5 to 7 p.m. at 12 Holden Street. And the Friday night craft night at Common Folk happening every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. Open to all sorts of crafts for all people, places, and things. And come to our open mic nights, sometimes at Greylock Works, sometimes over at 12 Holden Street. You can check our calendar at commonfolk.org. Speaking of commonfolk.org, go there and maybe give us some money, please. You can also sign up for one of our new community support programs. We have options at $5 and $10 a month. Low commitment, but high levels of fun. I should have rehearsed that one better. Thank you. Thank you. Throwing away old clothing is now illegal in the state of Massachusetts. A law passed in November says that folks cannot throw away any textile material, which is obviously great for sustainability and climate change at large. To hear more, we're going to talk to some 3 North Adams business owners who are experts on sustainability and giving clothing a new life. Can I welcome to the stage Sarah, Kirby, and Sweens once again, please? Come on, guys. Why don't you stand over here? Yeah. You guys stand over here. Sweens, stand right here. Nope. Everyone getting close, though. Come on, we're all friends here. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hi.
Yeah?
Good. All right, great.
Whoever's going to do the talking needs to stand here.
All right, I guess that's me.
Sweens, you are the owner of Savvy Hive, which is a consignment clothing store. Can you tell the folks at home and here a little bit about how you contribute to sustainability in the textile industry?
Sure. Do you want me to hold this? Yeah. Okay. So at Savvy Hive, you can donate clothes there, any of them. They can have tears, they can have stains, or they can be in great condition, and I will resell them. It's really just a way to keep clothing going. fast fashion isn't very sustainable for our world. And so this is just a way that we can all continue, like, let things live on, let our clothes live on. And anything that I get that's teared or ripped, I actually bring to Wallace Sauce, and they're going to tell us what they do with it.
Wow, great segue, Sweens. Geez, you should have this job.
So I'm Sarah, and this is Kirby, and we have a business in town called Wallace Sauce. Sorry, I don't do this often. And so we take upcycled clothing and we turn it into new products, mostly clothing. And when Sweens brings things to us, sometimes they're repairable, sometimes they're not, and so they can be resold, given a second life just as they are, or they can be taken apart and rebuilt and made into something new that somebody can love and wear for hopefully a long time. So,
Yeah.
yep.
And you guys are wearing some pieces that you made. Is that right? Can you tell us a little bit about the process of that?
So I'll let you go on this one.
So this is something that we took inspiration from, like those 90s sweaters, the 3D knit pattern ones. I'm not going to say the name of the brand, but I think everybody knows who it is, yeah. So yeah, it's just scraps from our projects that we did. There's probably like 30 or 50 different fabrics on there, and they're all sewn down. These are just these are like sweatshirts that were sewn into strips and then made into a big sheet, and then cut out a big sheet and made into a crew neck. You want to talk about the pants a little bit?
Yeah, same idea. Just taking smaller pieces. Once garments are kind of broken down, there's less and less you can do with them. So thinking about how to use even the smallest pieces to make something that's larger, usable again, is something we try to focus a lot on. So we have a low waste mentality with our production, but a lot of it's just experimentation too. So everybody's learning.
Thank you, guys. And I know, with this law passing, there's been a lot of questions from folks in the community of, where do I bring my old clothes that I don't want anymore? What do I do with them? And, I've been in your shop many times in the last couple of weeks where people have been like, how do I do this? How do I be more sustainable and give my clothing a new life? And I would say, first of all, supporting your local businesses is a great way to start doing that, because as we've seen tonight, there are tons of people in the community that are doing things with those pieces of clothing. And and if you can't find any of those people, make something.
Speaking of making something, you can also donate your secondhand art supplies to common folk.
Oh my God. Yeah, you can. Yeah. And speaking of donating, I'd like to thank some folks who have donated since the last time I thanked some folks who've donated. Meg Bantle, who I think is a live studio audience member. Thank you. Part owner of Fullwell Farm. If you want fresh fruits and vegetables and flowers and good vibes and lots of fun, sign up for their CSA. Fullwellfarm.com. And Jen Aviles, a fellow Common Folk member. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. You can find Jen at The Sensible Sheep. She's a wonderful woolstress. It's going to be what it is now. It's just going to be what it is. Thank you guys so much for coming on and talking about what you do. I mean, obviously, you guys are some of my very, very good friends, so I just am in awe of your work and respect it so much. And yeah, thanks for saying yes when I asked you to come on TV and talk about it. So, before we go, can you each tell the folks where they can find you?
53 Main Street in North Adams, Mass.
And on the internet?
Soon.
But like go in the store.
You can find us at wallacesauce.com, and we are also at 77 Main Street in North Adams, and we are also Wallace Sauce on Instagram. Oh yeah, we're also in a shop with a weaver. She's really dope. You guys should come meet her.
Her name's Meg.
Yes, Meg Carlin. Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Sierra.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to update the thermometer now. This is fine. Okay. No. Sweens, how much are we at again? 500. 515? Oh my God. That's half, right? No? Who said no? That's not half? That is half. It's half. All right. Great. And once again, those who have donated are automatically eligible for a raffle, the winner of whom we will announce at the end of this broadcast. We're going to take it over here. I'm just going to walk. This is my stage walk. Hey, Eli. Oh. Wait. Someone left the microphone over on the table. That's okay. It's all good. It's just live TV. Hey, Eli.
Testing. Hey, Sierra.
This is my very good friend and drummer in my band, Eli Marzano. Let's give it up. In addition to Eli being an amazing drummer, musician, friend, confidant, emotional support animal, Eli is also a very gifted astrologer. Eli, can you tell the folks about where they can find your astrology services?
I have a website. It is emarsastro.com. That's emars with a Z, astro, EMARZASTRO.com. Also,
spell it out, baby.
Spell it out. Also, the same Instagram and Twitter handle, but on Twitter I mostly use my personal Eli Marzano.
Great.
And yeah.
And Eli, you're going to do something a little fun for
I'm
everyone
gonna
today.
do a little quick 5-minute impromptu improv reading for somebody in the audience member.
I'll leave you to it. Have a good time. I'll see you later. I love you.
Excited in pink. You seem pumped? You seem pumped about it? No, it's okay. I just realized I need this. So, do you have your birth chart information?
I do. I am a Libra sun, a Pisces moon, and a Leo rising. Yes, I'm one of those people.
Oh, one of
Have
those
tarot
people.
cards, gems, and everything.
You said Pisces moon?
Pisces moon. Yes.
Oh, I'm a Pisces moon. All right. So, what time were you born?
1:37 a.m.
37. Okay.
Very excited to come out.
And then what day?
October 10th, 2000.
10:10. Can't even mess up the input there. 2000.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Maddie Longley.
Patty. Great. Where were you born?
I was born in New Britain, Connecticut.
Said New Britain. Oh, came right up. Great. So we got Leo rising, Pisces moon, Libra sun.
Yep.
Fantastic. That is a recipe for some fabulousness. Lots of creativity, lots of things to say. Wow. So do you do a lot of your art at home?
Yeah, I'm actually a writer. I'm an English major at Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, so very nearby. I'm actually a senior, so
Nice.
class of 2023.
Interesting. Do you write about like something either occult or about investigation, horror mystery, something like that?
I do write fantasy stuff, yeah, with usually like some sort of like subplot mystery. Also, in high school, I had a mentor who was an author herself, and she does a lot of mystery writing. Megan Collins? No? Okay. She's from back in Connecticut, which is fair. She's somehow watching this. It'd be bizarre. I'd be like, what are you doing here? I didn't know this. I didn't know you knew about this. Sorry, I had something to drink earlier.
That's also in the chart. I could just be saying that. Like,
I know, right?
I'm not. Even if I didn't know, it would be true. All right. Yeah. So what have you been up to lately?
That's the fun part. I'm, a senior in college, so I'm in my last semester now. So I graduate in less than 100 days.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it either. It feels like yesterday. They told us we were gonna have the 2-week spring break. So and then I blinked and I was like, "Whoa, we're back. We're in college. We're in senior year now. What happened there?"
So interesting, because based on what's going on in the sky right now, it seems like you have a good recipe for some sudden good unexpected event around that sense of career or public self. So in terms of just graduating from college, like, that's great. You're done with college. You can go work at Starbucks while you work on your career and you get it going, which I like that for you. Writing, I believe, and your goal, you just keep staying with everything you're really tied in. That seems to work. Sometimes you get a chart and somebody's like, yeah, I work at this investment firm. And I'm like, and you hate it? And they're like, and I hate it. But like, that really, really is nice for this chart. The writing, like as I said, I could see probably digs really deep. And you just keep digging deep with it. But there might be some unexpected event in terms of like just something good. It doesn't have to be crazy completely. Usually like can be kind of jarring. But like in retrospect, you'll be able to be like, hey, that was kind of unsettling, but it was actually really good. Okay. You might be initially launched out of your comfort zone, and you want to just take hold of that, and buckle down and focus on those goals. Let's see. I'm wondering with your writing if there's a little bit of an element around a protector maybe of children specifically?
Me, kids, never.
Her kids, never. Okay.
I mean, I was a kid once. I have semi-younger sisters. I'm like 22. They're like gonna be 21 in like March. So I don't have. No, I do not have kids. I do not want kids.
How much older than your sisters?
17 months.
Older than your sisters?
Older than my sisters,
okay.
Yes.
So they're the same age.
Basically, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I just look younger.
She just looks younger.
I'm shorter.
How am I doing on time? Like 4 minutes? Okay, thank you. Right. Is there a little bit of hot and coldness to how you run on your ideas? You're running like...
I can see it a little bit because I've had moments of like where I'm really inspired and then all of a sudden I just hit a massive writer's block. So I would say yeah.
Yeah. How do you think you get out of the writer's block? Is it really just time?
Oh God. That's a good question because I'm still kind of in writer's block right now. Listening to other writers can be pretty helpful. Sometimes current events can actually be pretty inspiring in a way. Which is funny because it sounds like ever since like 2020, it's just been like downhill from here. But yeah, I know, right? But there have been some instances where I've heard something and I'm like, you know what? There's something I should write about here that will send my message as to what I want to put out in the world.
Having that purpose. Yeah, I could see that writer's block sort of being satiated by getting back in tune with your locale, with your group, like, drawing that inspiration back from getting back in tune with the entire social sphere, whether it really be, like, don't just go on social media probably, but some news, maybe you go out, getting out and getting in touch with people.
Yeah, I try to be I'm an ambivert, so I try to be as outgoing as I can, but then when I know I'm about to tap out, I just tap out.
That's good. We gotta know. You gotta know.
Yeah.
where your battery's at.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wonderful. Yeah. A little bit of solitude, a little bit of community. I think that's really, yeah, you'll find a lot of that solace in solitude when you really need it. That'll be very important to develop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go to Mercury. Yeah. So what else did you do in college besides?
I'm also a business minor. I know, so fun. Which is funny because like I'm actually really bad at math. But like
That's
some of
good.
the marketing and like some of like the ethics stuff I've been relatively decent at. I'm in game clubs, so I do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, which
That's
I'm
great.
into, and one of my friends is also very into it. She's also here with us tonight. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, so I got into that a little bit. As I mentioned before, I'm very into tarot cards. I have gems. I'm the same person who, I don't have it on campus, sadly, I know, right? But I have like incense to like help like, you know, clean out the area of like negative energy.
Yeah.
And some of them actually smell decently. So like it's not all just like the strong patchouli. Some of them are actually like decent.
Yeah. That's sense of expression through, yeah. Clearing your, that personal zone where you're actually going to be practicing and that sacred space and keeping it sacred. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really ends up being very good. That practice, like, I enjoy, you're not trying to sell that part of yourself. You're not trying to be like a witch in your public eye or start a gem store, sell.
I mean,
You know,
I've
that part's
been
kinda
to
like-
some like not I guess like new age / witchy shops before.
You go to
Those
them.
are great. Those are always a lot of fun in my
Yeah.
opinion. But
I think I would say, in terms of how you said about not having kids, that might be something to kind of lean into why. Because I feel like what might come up for you later on is the topic of not necessarily like, oh, you need to become a parent, but when it comes to just, I see some sort of an archetype that is that protector of what is like somebody's of innocence and somebody's personal inner child.
I mean, yeah. I would say I'm relatively connected to my inner child to an extent. I'm even like doing like kind of this thing to like break out of my writer's block where I kind of just do like mini essays about like childhood events and like how it's kind of linked back to my, you know, young adulthood. So that's just like a personal thing, nothing insane, nothing I'm publishing just yet. I don't know if I'll publish it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice way for me to get out of my writer's block and also just kind of reminisce about, you know, realize, you know, what I had and how it's kind of
Yeah.
grown with me as like an adult.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That doesn't, yeah, I bet you collect those stories, you do them for you to vent, to keep yourself unblocked. And then maybe later when you have that name and you could publish those, people are really going to want to see those. That'd be something you keep in your back pocket to like,
I would definitely consider.
so you get your midlife crisis and then you're like,
No, I just go to my quarter life crisis. Get there earlier.
yeah, or keep writing them. Yeah, that's great. Do you do a lot of your own editing?
I would say I do a relatively decent part of my editing. I mean, with the help of Grammarly, of course, right? Just put in that Grammarly plug.
Sponsor her.
But yeah, I would say I do most of it myself. I mean, sometimes I have a couple people look at it, but mostly I try to do it as much as I can by myself. Try to be somewhat self-sufficient in my writing. I try to be, let's put it that way.
Yeah, but I think that's good. You know, if you had an editor, you're gonna pick somebody and go stick with them. Somebody that you really enjoy. That'll be how that happens. Oh yeah, okay. So I got 2 more minutes. Okay, great. Let's see. Intense situations.
My life.
I didn't want to say it. You know, sometimes you just stand here doing astrology and you're like, wow, that looks really intense. Using the words I can use right now. And then, like, in this context, I'm like, oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, I feel like if we touch on anything else, it's going to go over time. And if we call it here, it's pretty good.
That was pretty good. Thank you, Eli.
Yeah, thank you. He's here for Maddie.
Thank you, Eli.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. Eli gives me unofficial astrology readings all the time, but if you'd like your own in-depth astrology reading, follow him on all of his social medias, and we're going to see more of Eli later in a different capacity. Before I call up our next guest, I just want to give an update of where we're at. We are now at $675 in donations. So you know what time that means. We're going to update the thermometer. Surprise, I'm in a new outfit. One, two, three, 4, 5. Yeah, right? I feel like maybe that's all I should do for now. I didn't practice updating the thermometer before this broadcast. You know what? I'll be honest. I didn't practice a lot of things before this broadcast, but I've been known to just wing it. So here we are. So thank you very much. We're at $675. We are over halfway to our goal. And coincidentally, we're over halfway through this broadcast, so running right on schedule, I think. Thank you. I wish Eli was at the drums to go, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, I do want to read out some names of some donors. Once again, if you donate, you're entered into the raffle. We'll call the winner at the end of this. But thank you, Linda Reinisch. Thank you for your donation. Becky Waterhouse. Thank you for your donation. Sarah Rose Miller. Thank you for your donation. Carolina Porras. Thank you for your donation. And Henry Kunkel. Thank you, guys. Carolina and Henry. Love you both. And Betty. Betty donated too. Betty's a dog. Maddie Longley. Thank you for your donation. Sweens. Thank you for your donation. My mom, thank you for your donation. And David Hess, Molly Hess's father. Thank you for your donation. And it's worth noting that David Hess actually became a sponsor. So Common Folk does this really awesome thing where we have donors who are sponsors, and they sponsor a person's membership. So if someone wants to become a member of Common Folk, but they can't afford it, or they can only afford it sometimes, these sponsorships help members stay members and help people who want to become members be a part of Common Folk. So thank you, David. Really appreciate that. Just landed right there. That's cool. I do want to take sincere pleasure in introducing our next guest. Can I have Shannon Cook come out, please?
Hi.
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm good, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's good. I'm just inviting all of my friends onto my TV show.
I love it.
Yeah. So, Shannon, you are a yoga teacher?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can folks find you?
So I teach at Radiance Yoga. We're down on North Street in Pittsfield, but we also, from time to time, have a little pop-up in North Adams at the studio at Beaver Mill. And if you are interested in following me, Shannon Cook Yoga on Instagram. But I would love to see all of you in a class, and I'm very happy that I get to lead a little bit today.
As a past participator of Shannon's yoga classes, I can say that they're very fun.
Oh, thanks.
And I love you, bud.
I love you, bud.
Thanks for doing this. You're gonna do some yoga today,
I
and
am.
conveniently, it's gonna be with a chair.
Yes. So
And people are in chairs.
and maybe you're on a couch at home.
Maybe you're on a couch at home.
Or a chair.
Watching this. Dad, I know you are.
Or on the floor.
Mom sent me
That's
a text
fine.
saying that you're watching.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, if you want to participate in a
Please.
nice restorative practice, Shannon, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Thanks, C. Appreciate it.
Got you. Shannon,
Cool.
Cook, everyone.
Hi. Okay, well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being here in person. We've had a lot of excitement tonight, so I'm just going to bring us back to center just for a few minutes. We'll keep the party going, I'm sure, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot to celebrate. There's a lot going on outside of this studio as well. So whether things are going well, going not so well, or somewhere in between, it's always a good moment and a good reminder to be able to come back to ourselves. And we can do that. We have the power to do that with our bodies, with our minds, and more importantly, with our breath. So for those who are here with me in the studio and for those watching at home, I'll invite you just to take a comfortable seat where you are. If you're on a chair, you can scoot maybe a little bit forward if that's more comfortable, or you can bring yourself all the way back. Ground both feet firmly on the earth, and then just with your toes, with your heels, just kind of rock and roll so that you can feel all four corners of your feet down on the earth. Once you feel settled, let's start to bring the awareness up to the ankles. Maybe rock them back and forth as well. Maybe you've been standing, walking all day. Do what feels good. And then once you feel ready there, you can go ahead and settle into the feet, into the ankles, and start to bring your awareness up the legs to your thighs. I'll invite you to place your hands on your thighs. And you can do that palms down if you want a little bit more grounding energy. Or if you want to receive, you can go ahead and flip the palms and face them up towards the sky. We'll start with a little bit of shoulder rolls here, just to get some movement in the upper body, but also to realign our spine and grow up from the crown of our head. And everything that we do, we sync with the breath. So I'll invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose with me. Roll the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Not good with a microphone. And then as you exhale, let the shoulders roll down the back and take attention to kind of puff your chest up a little bit as you do that. Let's do that 2 more times together, friends. Inhale, shoulders up to the earlobes. Exhale, roll them down the back. Puff up through your collarbone. One final time. Inhale, shrug them up. Exhale, let them fall down the back. And then start to settle here. Feel that space in between the shoulders and the bottom of your ears. But let your spine grow tall. All the way up through your neck and through the crown of your head. In everything we do, we come back to the breath, because the breath is the most powerful tool that we have. It reminds us ourselves that we're in control. There's so many things out there that we feel are just slipping from our grasp. But you are in control. You're in control of your reactions. You're in control of how you feel. And you're in control of your breath. Let's breathe together. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale, let it go. Inhale in. Exhale out. For these next couple moments, we'll invite additional movement into the body. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Grow tall. Exhale, let them float back down. Slow and steady, wait in a rush. Beautiful. 2 more times like that. Inhale, grow tall through the side bodies. Maybe you bring the gaze into this by shining up towards the sky with your eyes. Exhale like you're moving through honey. Let the arms come back down. And last time here, and only if you're feeling funky, we're going to go ahead and come to a standing motion as we breathe. Inhale, maybe we stand all the way up. Exhale, slowly bend into the knees and start to float yourself down. Yeah, that felt good. Let's do that again. Inhale up, grow tall. Exhale, slowly float yourself back down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to take a little bit of a modified forward fold because we're in our seat. So go ahead and bring your belly over the thighs, maybe even in between the thighs. Just kind of sway the head back and forth. Relax through the arms. Relax through the head and neck. Beautiful. Let that tension go. Relax your jaw, the space between your brows. And if the feet moved, go ahead and heel toe them back underneath your shoulders and hips. And we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. I'll ask you to place your hand on your heart or your chest. If you feel more comfortable, you can bring the hands together at prayer. Now you might be thinking, what we just did was not yoga, but I assure you, anytime you take a minute to just come back to your breath, come back to where you are in space, that is yoga. So you don't have to be in a studio, although I'd love to see you at Radiance. Quick plug. But you don't have to be in a studio. You can be in your car. You can be at home. As long as you got your body with you, your mind, your breath, you're in control. You can do yoga. So we'll close out this short but beautiful practice together with a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. If the eyes fell closed at any time, go ahead and blink them open. Bring yourself back to this space, back to your awareness. And notice how you feel. Notice what feels different. Notice what may have come up. And thank yourself. That was just 10 minutes, friends. But you did that. It was an honor to be here to guide you through that short but sweet practice. Thank you, Common Folk, for having me. I love Common Folk and all that they do and all that they stand for, so I'm very happy to be here. And with that, I'm going to introduce our amazing host, our amazing MC, and a wonderful friend of mine to the stage, Ciara Fergali.
Thank you guys so much. We all knew this was going to happen. Thank you guys so much for being here. That was a new song called County Line off of the previously mentioned EP, Longtime Listener, which you can listen to on the internet. And just to give a quick financial update of this broadcast, we're now at $835. Which is really amazing, considering we were at $675 the last time we gave an update. And I just want to, as I tune my guitar, oh boy, this is the ultimate test of being able to talk and tune at the same time. If you've been to a show, you know I make jokes about that quite often. But I just want to give some big thanks to some folks who donated between now and then. Casey Albert, a Common Folk member, thank you so much for your donation. Shannon Cook, As I Live and Breathe, thank you for your donation. And thank you for the restorative yoga practice. Your voice can put me to sleep. Yeah. Timothy Cook, thank you for your donation. Tina Whalen, another wonderful Common Folk member, thank you so much for your donation. And Susan DeFusco, thank you for your donation. Mom, I'd like to take a moment, take off my headphones, and just say, Moms, thanks. We wouldn't be here without you. That's enough of that. This song is a love letter to my anxiety and to yours. To you and yours. Valentine's Day is coming up, so why not sing to the greatest love in our lives, our social inhibitors. Lifetime to talk about the weather. Hope you're fine. Hope you're doing better. 'Cause I'm in a unique state of mind. And I try to Now it's a party. At the end of this show, we're gonna do it a la SNL and bring everyone involved up on the stage, and we're gonna have a big group hug, and it's gonna be really nice. And I'm probably gonna cry just a little bit, but until then, this is a song about a lot of feelings, which I'm currently experiencing. Funny enough, though, it's called One Feeling. I see they wear hats of each other. I don't have to explain it to you. Just ask me how I'm doing, and you'll find out. Retrograde, that explains manic states, pulling the freight. One feeling disguised as another. 2 seconds and I'm sorry to bother you. One feeling disguised as another. 2 seconds and I'm sorry to bother you. All my friends live in places I can run to easy to forget that's true. Sweet moments of life sidetrack my nonsense going without you. Chalk it up to the full moon rising. Not my fault. I'm just improvising. This place in shameful sound. Something's in the air. I think it's coming around. One feeling disguised as a face in the crowd. All my Thank you guys so much. Before we play our supposedly last song, I know there's a lot of people here who like our music in the studio audience, so I'm gonna ask for maybe a request. We never do this, but what's up? Oh, no. We're gonna do a song that Sarah requests. Is that cool with everyone? Does the audience consent to one person requesting a song? Yes, speaking of my grandmother, this is her favorite song. Once again, I've talked about my grandma a lot during this live broadcast. But she's deserving of it. Grandma. Yeah, Glow. Thanks, Glow. This is Glow's favorite song, and coincidentally, Sarah's favorite song. And Sarah's kind of like my grandma sometimes. So she loves me like my grandma loves me, which is very sweet, This is a song that we wrote, or me and my many feelings wrote about a road trip that I took with my grandmother a couple years ago. And it's called Colorado. How far does that river go? The mighty Colorado, winding down the valley below. How wide does that river lie? The one that goes to the mile high, winding down the Rocky Mountain sky. How fast does that river run? And does it beat the rising sun? Does it have a source or does it come from the How deep does that river sit? The one that deepens bit by bit, winding down the red rock colored pit. Oh, oh, oh! How far, 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 how far does that river go? The mighty Colorado, winding down the valley below. How far does that river go? The mighty Colorado, winding down the valley below. Man, I jammed so hard I knocked the headphones off. It was cool though. This is gonna be our last song, but it won't be the last that you hear from us because we play shows a lot and we like playing shows for friends and strangers alike. And thank you guys so much for entertaining. Well, first of all, for entertaining all of this, and for entertaining this. And we're gonna do a little outro goodbye thing after we're done playing music here. But just another quick financial update for you. We are at $915, you guys. Oh my goodness gracious, golly oh boy. Who's gonna be the person to donate the last 85 bucks, huh? Who's gonna be it? Whose mom has not already donated?
Let me make at least one phone.
Eli's gonna call his mom, and I encourage you to call your moms. And thank you, moms. And I'm looking directly into the camera now because I'm speaking to the audience. You can help us reach our fundraising goal. And we put the emphasis in fun. And with that, here's a song about getting angry. How do I attempt to figure this out? Burn every letter, turn every corner around and around and around and around and around. Thank you, Eli. Well, this is a little. I'm gonna go back over there now, to the folks at home and the folks here who's in charge of it. I feel like that was the beginning of West Side Story. Coincidentally, I'm also dressed like that. Oh my God, I just looked over at the whiteboard. You guys, we are at $1,105. No, wait, got it. Oh. Pretend it's there, yay! We sincerely could not have done this without all of you. You have not only helped 40 plus artists in and around North Adams, you have helped us keep our retail store open. You have helped us continue to do really fun and albeit silly things like this. So thank you guys so much for donating. And I'm going to announce our raffle winner. So can I get a drum roll from everyone in this building? The raffle winner is Jen Aviles. All right. Jen, you have won. That is so exciting. I love Berkshire Cider, and you're going to have a great time, and they make delicious things, and you're just a delicious, fun person. So well deserving of this raffle. Thank you. To claim your prize, please email performingarts@commonfolk.org. That's my email. You can say, hey, Sierra, I won. And I'm going to say, you did. Congratulations. And then we'll link you to the proper channels. So congratulations, Jen. Thank you to everyone who donated. Please, if you didn't win this raffle, still go check out Berkshire Cider. They're swell. And right before I bring everyone on stage, I want to say some quick thank yous to the folks at NBCTC, which is this amazing... Yes, this amazing community television station. You guys, this is a free community resource that is here, and it's amazing. And I want to give a special thank you to David Fabiano, who is the executive director here at the studio. Thank you, Dave. I see you back there. I'm waving at you and your mustache. And I truly couldn't have done this without Dave. Thank you for answering all of my frantic questions and wild requests and just rolling with it. So thank you. Also want to give a big thank you to Berkshire Cider for not only being a big supporter of Common Folk over the years, but for donating the raffle prize. Thank you, you guys. Want to give a quick shout out to Savvy Hive. Thank you. And Jessica Sweeney. Please go support your local businesses. Conveniently, they're made up of all of our friends. So go see them. Wallace, Sarah, and Kirby, thank you guys so much for coming on and talking. My knight in shining armor, Eli Marzano, thank you. Want to give a quick thank you to Radiance Yoga as well. Shannon, thank you. Bree Morrison, thank you so much for sharing with us. Molly Hess, thank you. Can I get everyone on stage who was a part of this in some way to come on up here? And if you're behind a camera, it's okay, because it's all good. And pretend this is the end of an episode of your favorite sketch comedy TV show. We're not going to say names because copyright, but thank you guys. Yes, couldn't have done this without everyone's help. Thank you to Brian for, Brian's the tallest. Max, get up here. Max, we got Max going on.
Round of applause for Sierra as well for doing all of this.
Yeah, right. Thank you guys so much. To Peter Gentile, our fabulous director, who kind of came in and was told to listen to me. And thank you, everyone, for listening to me. I know it was hard at times, but here we are. And Isabel and Brian and Molly and Greta. Oh, my God, everyone. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. That is the end of our broadcast. And thank you so much for tuning in, and continue to support Common Folk and all of the individuals that you see up here and behind the camera. It really is such a privilege to be a part of this community. So thank you. Thank you so much.